Here's a stat that stops most people cold. The average American has less than $1,000 saved for emergencies. Not because they don't earn enough, but because they never built the habit of keeping money. Today I'm going to show you the simplest rule in personal finance. The $50 a week rule. $50. Less than most people spend on coffee and takeout each week. And I'm going to show you 5 reasons why this tiny number, applied consistently, quietly stacks into something that genuinely changes your financial life in 12 months. The math will shock you. Let's start with the numbers, because the math here is almost unfair. $50 a week, that's $200 a month. Over a year, that's $2,600. Without doing anything fancy. No stock picks, no side hustle, no budget spreadsheet with 47 categories. Now here's where it gets interesting. Put that $200 a month into a high-yield savings account paying around 4.5% APY, which is totally normal right now. And after 1 year you'd have about $2,650. Not a massive difference yet, but after 3 years? You're looking at $8,100. After 5 years, over $13,400. The money starts to compound, and the curve bends in your favor. But here's the real psychological win. $50 a week is small enough that most people don't feel it. It sits below the threshold of sacrifice. You don't have to skip vacations or stop eating out. You just redirect $50 once a week, before it gets absorbed into your daily spending. That's the entire rule. Automation turns it from a habit into a system. The reason most saving strategies fail isn't willpower. It's friction. You have every intention of saving, and then life happens. An unexpected expense, a spontaneous dinner, a sale on something you've been eyeing, and the money's gone before you ever consciously chose to spend it. The $50 rule eliminates this completely when you automate it. Here's the setup. The moment your paycheck hits your checking account, $50 automatically transfers to a separate savings account. Not tomorrow. Not after you pay bills. The moment it arrives. This is called paying yourself first. And it's been a cornerstone of wealth building advice for over a century. For good reason. What you never see, you never spend. Most online banks let you set this up in under 5 minutes. You pick the amount, you pick the frequency. Weekly works great, and you link your accounts. After that, the system runs itself. You don't have to remember. You don't have to have a good week. The money moves whether you feel motivated or not. Automation doesn't require discipline. That's the entire point. The trigger method. Link saving to real events. Here's a variation of the $50 rule that works even better for some people. Instead of saving on a fixed schedule, you save $50 every time a specific trigger happens. These triggers can be income events. You get paid, you save $50 immediately. Or they can be windfall moments. Tax refund arrives. You pull $50 off the top before anything else happens to it. Bonus at work? $50 goes to savings before you even think about how to celebrate. You can also create behavioral triggers. Sold something on eBay? $50 to savings. Got a cash gift for your birthday? $50 to savings. Anytime money comes in from an unexpected source, the rule activates automatically. This approach works psychologically because it feels less like deprivation and more like a system. You're not cutting your lifestyle. You're creating a consistent first action every time money touches your hands. Over time, that first action becomes reflexive. You stop thinking about it. The habit is installed. Stack the rule to multiply the result. Once you've got the basic $50 rule running on autopilot, there are 2 ways to quietly multiply its impact without changing your lifestyle. First, if your employer offers a 401k match and you're not maxing it out, That match is literally free money sitting on the table. Even a small increase to your contribution, say $25 per paycheck, can unlock an additional $25 in employer match. That's effectively doubling a chunk of your savings rate at no extra cost. Second, use micro-saving apps that round up your purchases to the nearest dollar and invest the difference. You buy a $3.60 coffee. The app rounds it to $4 and saves the 40 cents. Over a month, those roundups typically add $30 to $60 extra without you noticing. Stack that on top of your $50 weekly transfer and your actual saving rate is higher than it appears. Neither of these requires drastic changes. They layer onto the base $50 rule and compound the outcome over time. Where to put the $50 actually matters. Saving the money is step 1. Where you put it determines how hard it works for you. For most people, the first $1,000 to $2,000 of the $50 rule should build an emergency fund. Liquid, accessible, in a high-yield savings account. Think of this as the foundation. Once that's in place, you're no longer one car repair away from credit card debt. After the emergency fund is solid, the next layer is a Roth IRA if you're eligible. A Roth lets your money grow tax-free and you can withdraw contributions penalty-free if you need them. Contributing $200 a month maxes out well under the annual limit. And it gets you into the habit of investing before most people even think about it. If your income is higher or you want to go further, a low-cost index fund ETF in a brokerage account is next. Something tracking the total U.S. market or the S&P 500. A fund with an expense ratio under 0.1%. Park the $50 there weekly and let it ride. The sequence matters. Emergency fund first. Tax-advantaged accounts second. Taxable investing third. Follow that order and your $50 a week builds a genuinely diversified financial base over time. Here's the truth about the $50 rule. It's not going to make you rich overnight, and it's not supposed to. What it does is install a system. One that runs in the background, grows quietly, and compounds into real money over time. Most people underestimate what consistent, boring actions produce over years. If you got value from this video, hit subscribe. I drop new videos on personal finance every week, all focused on practical strategies you can actually use, not theory. And if you want to take the next step, check out my video on how to pick the right high-yield savings account in 2024. I'll link it right here. See you in the next one.